Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are discussing question and answers for Microsoft Designing Azure Infrastructure Solution AZ-305. If you find this content helpful, please like, comment and subscribe. You can download the complete list of question and answers from the playlist link provided in the description. Do share please. Case study. This is a case study. Case studies are not timed separately. You can use as much time in exam as you would like to complete each case. However, there may be additional case studies and sections for this exam. You must manage your time to ensure that you are able to complete all questions included on this exam in the time provided. To answer the questions included in the case study, you will need to reference information that is provided in the case study. Each case studies might contain exhibits and other resources that provide more information about the scenario that is described in the case study. Each question is independent of the other questions in this case study. At the end of this case study, a review screen will appear. This screen allows you to review your answer and make changes before you move to the next section of the exam. After you begin a new section, you cannot return to this section. To start the case study, to display the first question in this case study, click on the Next button. Use the buttons in the left pane to explore the content of the case study before you answer the questions. Clicking these buttons displays information such as business requirements, existing environment, and problem statement. If the case study has All Information tab, note that the information displayed is identical to the information displayed on the subsequent tabs. When you are ready to answer the question, click the question button and return to the question. Existing environment, technical environment. The on-premise network contains a single Active Directory domain named contoso.com. Contoso has a single Azure subscription. Existing environment, business partnerships. Contoso has a business partnership with Fabricam.in. Fabricam users access in some Contoso applications over the internet by using Azure Active Directory AD guest accounts. Requirements, planned changes. Contoso plans to deploy two applications named App1 and App2 to Azure. Requirements, App1. App1 will be Python web app hosted to Azure App Service that requires a Linux runtime. Users from Contoso and Fabricam will access App1. App1 will access several services that require third-party credentials and access strings. The credentials can access strings are stored in Azure Key Vault. App1 has 6 instances, the 3 in the East US Azure region and the 3 in the West Europe Azure region. App1 has following data requirements. The first requirement is each instance will write data to a data store in the same availability zone as the instance. Data written by any App1 instance must be visible to all App1 instances. App1 will only be accessible from Internet. App1 has the following connection requirements. The first connection requirement is connections to App1 must pass through a Web Application Firewall (WAF). The second requirement is connection to app 1 must be active load balanced between the instances. The connection requirement third is all connections to app 1 from North America must be directed to East US region. All other connections must be directed to the West Europe region. Every hour, when you run a maintenance task by invoking a PowerShell script that copies files from all the app1 instances, the PowerShell script will run from a central location. Requirements of App 2. App 2 will be a net app hosted in app service that requires a Windows runtime. App 2 has the following file storage requirement. The first requirement is save files to an Azure storage account. The second requirement is replicate files to an on-premise location. The third requirement is ensure that on-premise clients can read the files over LAN by using the SMB protocol. You need to monitor App 2 to analyze how long it takes to perform different transactions within the applications. The solution must not require changes to the application code. Application development requirements. Application developers will constantly develop new versions of App 1 and App 2. The development process must meet the following requirements. The first requirement is a staging instance of new application version must be deployed to the application host before the new version is used in production. The second development process is after testing the new version, the staging version of the application will replace the product version. And the third application requirement is the switch of the new application version from staging to production must occur without any downtime of the application. Identity requirements. Contoso identifies the following requirements for managing Fabricam access to resources. The first requirement is every month an account manager at Fabricam must review which Fabricam users have access permissions to App 1. The second requirement is accounts that no longer need permissions must be removed as guests. The third requirement is the solution must minimize development effect. The fourth requirement is uk.co.certification.simulator.questionpool.plist@1863e940. Now, security requirements. All secrets used by Azure services must be stored in Azure Key Vault. Services that requires credentials must have the credentials tied to the service instance. The credentials must not be shared between services. Our question is, you need to recommend a solution that meets the data requirements for App 1. What should you recommend deploying to each availability zone that contains an instance of App 1? The options are option A, an Azure Cosmos DB that uses multi-region writes. Option B, an Azure Data Lake Store that uses ZeoZone Redundant Storage (GZRS). Option C, an Azure SQL database that uses active geo-replication. Option D, an Azure storage account that uses GeoZone Redundant Storage (GZRS). The correct answer is option A. If you find this content helpful, please like, comment and subscribe to our channel. You can download the complete list of valid, tried, tested and updated question and answers from the playlist link provided in the description. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you.